Okay, so my name is James Williams Jr. Welcome to Comfort Habit number 2. This is the final video for tonight, unless something interesting happens before I close my eyes to go to sleep. Alright, so I posted on Facebook saying that I strongly believe in, and you guys are either going to like it or you're not. And if you don't like it, well, okay, that's your opinion. So the expression was, the first old saying is, he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. I know you guys are thinking, isn't that some shit Storm Shadow said in G.I. Joe? Maybe. I'm not really sure where I got that from. But I know where I got this one from because it's what I was taught all my life. And almost from every sensei except maybe two. He who fights to survive never has to run and hide. Now let me explain that. Because there are basically anywhere between 5 to 7 type of fighters, but the main ones that you have to be concerned with are the people who fight to survive, the people who fight for nothing but a pointless victory, and the people who fight just for the glory of beating the shit out of people because that's what they can do until someone takes them down a peg or two. And I'm not one of those guys. Now, when I started learning martial arts because I was a street fighter first, yeah, I'll be the first to tell you, I may have been one of those guys. And I say may have because you don't really know what type of fighter you are until you have to fight. Alright? And most times I will be the first one to tell you, in every fight I've been in, I've been scared as shit. And that has taught me how to fight to survive. Most of the times when you fight to survive, you generally will not lose. Or you will be surviving. You know, there's another type of fighters that generally don't lose either, is when you're fighting for what you believe is right. So if you're fighting for what you believe is right, you got a better chance of actually winning the fight. But in the end, in a real fight, there are no winners or losers. There's just survivors. And the thing is, the situation determines your fight. All right, I'm a small guy. I'm 5'3.5" tall. I'm about $130. So every fight is a fight for survival for me. Every fight. It always has been. It always will be. Because there are not too many 5'3" guys going around starting fights. All right, because we're small. And most of the time, we're too busy trying to avoid them for the simple fact that I mentioned we were small. And most of the time, we are often the people who are bullied by people who are 5'8", 6 feet, big, stocky, burly guys. And most guys don't look at us and say, this guy is a threat. I will say that generally winds up being why they lose the fight. Because they look down and say, oh, this guy's 5 foot nothing, 100 nothing. He can't whoop my ass. I'll surprise you, as I've surprised many people before. The size of a man ain't got a damn thing to do with the skills behind his hands and his feet. A perfectly trained killing machine don't need no weapon because they are the weapon. And so for all of those who are laughing at me, and for all of those who've laughed at me through high school, and for all those who talked a lot of shit and then never showed up to fight, you know, um, when I said I was a walking weapon, I meant what the fuck I said. So let me give you a little feedback on me. And again, you guys can take this with a grain of salt. You can like it, you can believe it, or you can do whatever the hell you want. You know, I can't change your mind, but if we square up, you'll find out. You know, for those who bullied me and shit, who know, who the fuck you are. You would not fight me by yourself. You didn't show up. Y'all know y'all ran from me in Mrs. Jones' class. And it goes to every high school bully and every other motherfucker that has threatened to fight me and then not show up to the fight. You know. Sorry, text message. I have been through a lot of shit in life. I've been threatened. I've been bullied all my life. I'm still being bullied in high school, right? I mean, college. College right now. The hardest part of being me is keeping my hand to myself. I was trained by a Green Beret at 16 years old. There's nothing I can't use to kill somebody with, except for a simple blade of grass. I haven't figured that trick out yet, but when I do, I'll be sure to let everyone know how to do it. I shouldn't be the only one with all that power. But anyway, then again, I might not, because I might need all that power to keep the people in check. But the thing is, you know, the thing is that if you don't know who you are as a person, then you won't know who you are in battle. In battle, it only really counts for most people when you win. It's not like in Dragon Ball Z where if you're a Saiyan and you lose and you come back and that person can't beat your ass again, because that's the way it works. In real life, it doesn't really work that way, because the way I see it, if you beat my ass before, you shouldn't have a problem beating me again. That has also been that has also been a test that I have tried to prove to people, but there was a guy who beat me in a sparring match, and you know who the fuck you are. My family knows who the fuck he is, because he's a coward. And I'll tell you why I said he's a coward. He's a coward because, when my cousin died, instead of jumping on the people who were there, who were strapped, he comes after me. He beat me in a sparring match, but yet he wouldn't fight me the next day or for the 2 weeks to his entire duration of staying in Charlottesville, Virginia. He would not combat me. He beat me 2 to 3 falls. He got 3, I got 2. He couldn't go another round, and my dumbass mom stopped the fight. I had 6 more rounds than me. He didn't have that. He woke up a sleeping dragon, and he knew not to keep poking the bear with the stick. But he was still a coward, because when my cousin died, instead of coming to fight me like he told me he would at church, he went on back to New York. So it's not where you're from, it's what the fuck you can do. Let that be the second lesson that you need to know. A person who's from somewhere that's rough and tough and all that stuff does not make them rough and tough and all that stuff. Because if you're good, you can talk your way out of a fight. If you're a fighter, I ain't got time for all that goddamn talking. You either hit me in the mouth or shut the fuck up. And that's just the way I see it. A lot of people don't see it that way. And that's just life, in general. But the thing about fighting, and I say this completely and all-heartedly, he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. He who fights to survive never has to run and hide. Those are 2 phrases that you should probably keep in mind in case you are ever in an altercation with someone that decides that they beat you, yet they don't want to fight you again because they know they're going to fucking lose. Now, I brought this up for a reason. When all this stuff was going down and my life was in a very bad space, I have certain family members who like to threaten people, but won't fight, but like to run their mouth about victories and losses. And the only way that I could shut them up was they was like, yeah, this dude beat you, this dude beat you, this dude beat you. I said, but you cannot. And that shut them up. It's like, oh, I beat you. I said, well, why you keep running your mouth? Stop talking and start swinging. And that pretty much shuts them up. So you can tell how far somebody's willing to go when they shut the fuck up after they're done putting you down and saying how this guy from New York whooped your ass this and whooped your ass that. And I was like, yeah, he did all that. But y'all had to go get him because y'all couldn't do that. And then when it came back down to it, when it was about to get real, he went back to New York. He didn't come and fight me like he promised. He didn't come and honor his word like he promised. He didn't come to put his fist down my throat like he promised. So, again, I say, if you can't practice what you preach, you keep your mouth shut. If you think you can't beat somebody, you probably will lose. If you know you can't beat somebody, then you probably will lose. And here's my thought on that. I know what I'm capable of. And they say not to underestimate your enemy. And I don't. But here's something else I say. I also don't give a damn. Because 2 things are going to happen. When we clash, one of us is going to win. That's a given. And one of us is going to lose. The question is, how far are you willing to go to win? Are you willing to beat a man to death to win? I ask myself that question a lot. My answer is yes. I'm willing to beat that motherfucker to death because he's willing to beat me to death in my mind. Now, I don't know if he's willing to beat me to death or not. And maybe you missed that part where I said, I don't give a damn. Because I don't. A fight is a fight. You're gonna pull my hair. You're gonna gouge out my eyes. And I'm not gonna be there like you do in all these videos you're watching. Don't pull my hair. Don't pull my hair. No, 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 no. All that. No, fuck that shit. It is a fight. Fight means one thing. This is gonna swing. That's gonna swing. Someone's gonna feel a sting. Someone's going to fuck to sleep. Now, I will tell you this. If I lose, you better not kick me while I'm down. Especially if the video goes viral. Because then I will hunt you down. I will hurt everyone in your family to get to you. And then I'm going to hurt you. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Habit number 2. Always remember, he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. He who fights to survive never has to run or hide. Be seeing you.